August 25th, 1984, began like any other day. The sun rose over the bustling streets of India, casting a golden hue over the city as people went about their daily routines, unaware of the dark events that would soon unfold. Indian Airlines Flight 421, a Boeing 737, took off from Chandigarh Airport in India. The aircraft, a symbol of modern aviation, was on a routine flight, its engines roaring as it ascended into the clear blue sky, its destination Srinagar, a popular tourist spot nestled in the Himalayas. Known for its breathtaking landscapes and serene beauty, Srinagar was a haven for travellers seeking peace and adventure. On board were 79 passengers and 5 crew members, all unaware of the terror that awaited them. Families, business travellers and tourists settled into their seats, anticipating a smooth journey. As the plane soared over the Indian plains, a group of armed men stormed the cockpit. The sudden intrusion shattered the calm, sending shockwaves through the cabin. These were no ordinary criminals. Their eyes were filled with a fierce determination, and their actions were driven by a cause that transcended mere robbery or personal gain. They were pro-Khalistani insurgents fighting for an independent Sikh homeland. Their movement had gained momentum, fueled by a deep-seated desire for autonomy and recognition. Their violent methods had already plunged the Punjab region into chaos. The insurgency had left a trail of destruction, with countless lives lost and communities torn apart. Now, they were about to unleash their terror at 30,000 feet. The hijackers moved swiftly, their presence casting a shadow of fear over the passengers. The hijackers' demands were clear: the release of Sikh prisoners held in Indian jails and recognition of their separatist movement. They believed that their drastic actions would force the government to concede to their demands. They brandished weapons and threatened violence, plunging the passengers and crew into a nightmare. The atmosphere inside the plane was tense, with every passenger fearing for their life. The world watched in horror as news of the hijacking spread, a stark reminder of the vulnerability of civilian air travel. Television screens across the globe broadcast the unfolding drama, capturing the attention of millions. Back on the ground, Indian government officials scrambled to respond. Crisis meetings were held, and military personnel were put on high alert, ready to take action if necessary. Families of the passengers anxiously waited for news, their hearts heavy with fear and uncertainty. The emotional scenes at the airport were a testament to the human cost of such acts of terror. Negotiators worked tirelessly to communicate with the hijackers, hoping to resolve the situation without further bloodshed. The tense standoff continued, with the fate of the passengers hanging in the balance. In the end, through a combination of negotiation and strategic action, the crisis was resolved. The passengers were finally able to disembark, their ordeal over. But the memory of that harrowing flight would stay with them forever. The hijackers, desperate for fuel and fearing Indian intervention, forced the pilots to change course. Their first stop, Karachi, Pakistan. The plane landed under a cloud of tension. Pakistani authorities, caught off guard, found themselves thrust onto the front lines of an international crisis. After tense hours on the tarmac in Karachi, the hijackers grew impatient. They demanded the plane be refueled and allowed to continue. Their new destination, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The flight path of Flight 421, once routine, now zigzagged across the map, a terrifying symbol of the hijackers' desperation and the passengers' growing fear. Dubai, a bustling hub known for its luxurious hotels and booming economy, now braced for an unprecedented crisis. The hijackers, heavily armed and unpredictable, posed a grave threat. The world held its breath, wondering what fate awaited those trapped aboard the hijacked aircraft. News of the hijacking spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of people around the globe. The incident was unprecedented, and the world watched with bated breath. And the plane's imminent arrival at Dubai International Airport added to the growing tension. The aircraft, once a symbol of freedom and connectivity, now represented a dire threat. Sent shockwaves through Dubai. The city, accustomed to the glamour of international travel and the flow of commerce, now found itself at the centre of a global crisis. The streets, usually filled with the hustle and bustle of daily life, were now eerily quiet as people stayed glued to their televisions and radios, awaiting updates. The airport, usually a beacon of modernity and efficiency, transformed into a scene of controlled chaos. Staff members, trained for routine operations, now faced an extraordinary situation that tested their limits. Security forces from across the UAE rushed to Dubai International Airport, establishing a tight perimeter around the runway. Their presence was a stark reminder of the gravity of the situation, as they worked tirelessly to ensure the safety of everyone involved. Snipers took up positions, their eyes trained on the hijacked aircraft. Every movement was scrutinized, every shadow analyzed as they prepared for any possible outcome. Paramedics and negotiators stood by, ready for any eventuality. The medical teams were prepared to handle injuries, while the negotiators worked on strategies to peacefully resolve the crisis. The atmosphere crackled with tension as the city held its breath, bracing for the unknown. Families of the passengers gathered, their faces etched with worry and fear, hoping for a miracle. The eyes of the world turned to Dubai, their hopes pinned on a peaceful resolution. News outlets from every corner of the globe covered the event, broadcasting live updates and speculations. The hijackers, however, remained unpredictable, their demands unwavering. They communicated sporadically, each message heightening the tension and uncertainty. The fate of the passengers and crew hung precariously in the balance, a stark reminder of the human cost of extremism and the fragility of peace. Each passing moment felt like an eternity, as the world waited and hoped for a resolution that would bring everyone home safely. Time seemed to stand still as the sun set over Dubai, casting long shadows over a city united in hope and prayer. The resilience of the human spirit shone through as people from all walks of life came together, offering support and solidarity in the face of adversity. Behind the scenes, international leaders and diplomats worked tirelessly, making phone calls and holding meetings, striving to find a solution that would end the crisis without further bloodshed. Their efforts were a testament to the power of diplomacy and the shared desire for peace. As night fell, candlelight vigils were held across the city, a poignant display of unity and hope. People held hands, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of candles, each flame a symbol of their collective wish for a peaceful resolution. Finally, as dawn broke, the news everyone had been waiting for arrived. The crisis had been resolved and the passengers and crew were safe. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief, embracing the new day with renewed hope and gratitude. Section 4. Sheikh Mohammed takes charge. A leader steps forward. As the crisis unfolded, one man emerged to take control. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, then the UAE's Minister of Defence. His presence was a beacon of hope in a time of uncertainty, a figure who could be relied upon to navigate the turbulent waters of crisis. Known for his decisive leadership and unwavering commitment to his people, Sheikh Mohammed refused to allow fear to paralyze his nation. His actions were not just about immediate responses, but about setting a precedent for future generations. He understood the gravity of the situation. The weight of responsibility was immense and the stakes were higher than ever before. The hijackers were ruthless. The lives of innocent people were at stake. The threat was not just to those on the plane, but to the very fabric of national security and international relations. He knew that the world was watching, judging Dubai's response. Every decision, every move was under the global microscope, and the pressure was immense. This was not just about rescuing hostages. It was about protecting his nation's reputation and upholding the values of peace and diplomacy. The eyes of the world were on Dubai, and Sheikh Mohammed was determined to show that his nation stood for justice and humanity. Sheikh Mohammed, driven by a deep sense of humanity, vowed to do everything in his power to secure the safe release of the hostages. His commitment was not just to his nation, but to the principles of human dignity and respect. He assembled a team of negotiators, ordering them to exhaust every avenue for a peaceful resolution. The team worked tirelessly, exploring every possible strategy, every potential compromise. He understood the risks involved, but remained resolute. The path to resolution was fraught with danger, but his determination never wavered. Failure was not an option. Sheikh Mohammed's leadership during this crisis would become a defining moment in his legacy, a testament to his courage, wisdom, and unwavering dedication to his people and his nation. Section 5. Hours of anguish. The tense negotiations begin. With the hijacked plane sitting on the tarmac of Dubai International Airport, a tense standoff ensued. The hijackers, armed and volatile, made their demands clear. They wanted the release of Sikh political prisoners held in Indian jails, a move that put the Indian government in a difficult position. Sheikh Mohammed's team, working tirelessly, established contact with the hijackers. They spoke in measured tones, seeking to de-escalate the situation and build a rapport. Every word mattered, every syllable carrying the weight of the lives at stake. The world watched, captivated by the high-stakes drama unfolding on the runway. Hours turned into an agonizing wait. The negotiators, working in shifts, refused to give up hope. They appealed to the hijackers' humanity, reminding them of the innocent lives in their hands. The pressure was immense, the stakes incredibly high.